Hey everyone, 12 Pine here, Pine Grove News Live, 6:01 p.m. here on the East Coast, and hopefully you don't hear an echo, hopefully. So let's, can somebody let me know if you hear an echo, please? So anyways, here in southern New England, East Coast, we're in fall finally. I mean, what it get? Low 70s again today, but lots of rain this morning. Supposed to be getting more rain tomorrow, so we will see. I still don't. I mean, I see a little bit, just a little change in the leaves. I mean, shouldn't it be? I know a couple, at least one person in here is from New England. You know, it is September 28th. Shouldn't the color of the trees be a little bit more vibrant? I mean, I see a lot of green. Maybe a little yellow. That's it. No echo. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, we'll go with that. And from that, we'll just go on with the news. I'm not worried about the rest of it. I'm getting a little, a little tired of trying to live stream, on YouTube. It's just if I can get it there, I'll get it there. But I am not gonna. It just takes too much of my time, and it has become irritating, to say the least. So I'm gonna give it to the Lord. If He wants me to go on there, I gave it to Him a while ago, but maybe that's the whole point. Maybe I should just stop. But we're going to go on with the news and other things. So here on the East Coast, I mean, what are the top stories? We all should know. A couple of them, right? One is continuing. I'll give you an update on that. So we'll go. We're going to deal a lot with the weather. So the weather, besides it being, rather chilly here, what's going on around the world? Well, let's just say around the United States. So y'all heard of the 7.7. USGS has put it at a 7.5. And the other one was a 6.1. That was sent to me about 3 a.m. in the morning. And this other one, obviously a few hours later. But again, both these earthquakes, one, it's in around with the Indonesia, that area, where 2 weekends ago we had quite a bit of earthquake activity up there, and it was a little bit north of that, along some fault lines, well-known ones. This one, there is no fault line, but there's a little one. Right next to Papua New Guinea, there's a short little fault line, and if that continued, it would go right to where these two big earthquakes, both of them are in the same general area. And even though the USGS says that well, it wasn't updated or whatever, they're way behind, you try and figure that one out. USGS has not been very reliable, whatever you want to call it, these days. I'm surprised. I guess they've downgraded it, because there are other ones who say it was a 7.7. At least they brought it down to a 7.5 and not further. But in any case, they said no tsunami, when in fact there was a tsunami. As a matter of fact, we got some pictures. We got a picture of someone obviously videotaping this incoming tsunami. And we will, for the live people here, I'm sorry about that, but you will see it out in the video later. But you will be able to hear it. And obviously a lot of scared people. So, I don't know, I can hear an echo. Very, very slight echo, but as long as you're not hearing it. Obviously, a lot of scared people. Last time I did that, it was throughout the video, so I'm gonna do something here I don't normally do. So anyways, that is what has happened as far as earthquakes, bigger ones. I don't track the I'd like to, at least the 5.8s, 5.9s, and so on and so forth. The rest of them, I mean, I'll be getting notifications all day long with that stuff if I did that. And that's one of the reasons why I went to 6.0 better. So there we have it in the same day, a 6.1. And I'm trying to look for the coordinates, but it won't show me on the page I'm on. But anyway, 6.1, 7.5, and a tsunami. Now I'm trying to go find that page with the tsunami. And, I don't get it. I don't get it, folks. I mean, I had it here. It was a very important video. Maybe it's this one. No. Okay. So apparently it either got wiped out because I went to another. I'll get it though. Before I post this, I'm going to go get that video. It should be here, but it's not. Maybe it is down here. No. Alright, I have to apologize for that. So anyways, let's go to the weather. The hurricane tracking AccuWeather, and I don't know why they don't track the West Pacific and the South Pacific. I mean, in the West Pacific you still have that typhoon that is now still going there. What's its name? Trami. That is still now out there. Sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. I'll see. Hold on. Yeah, 100 miles per hour sustained winds. I mean, I think that's still a Cat 2 typhoon. Gusts of 140 miles per hour, and heading for Okinawa, Japan. Again, these people are going to get hit. And all the ones before it gets to Japan, like Taiwan and the other islands there, Guam, Grammy, and let's go, and they're saying that there's another one in the South Pacific, which they, who gave that to me? But anyway, the South Pacific, that is obviously around where Australia is. Said that there was one forming down there. I'm looking at the maps of the jet stream, the clouds, and a lot of cloud formations, but I know in another picture I saw it. Oh boy. Anyway, hold on here, and then I'll announce what's going on. The East Pacific, we have Hurricane Rosa.
Florence has pretty much taken over.
Whoa. Anyways, in the East Pacific now, Rosa was a Hurricane 4 at around, at around 3-4 p.m. because I was tracking it. So Hurricane Rosa has now been downgraded to a Hurricane 3. Maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, gusting to 150. And there's a story out there saying, I'll see right here from End Time Headlines, developing Arizona and California in the direct path of this Hurricane Rosa. The graph here shows that it'll be slowly turning north and then northeast from Saturday to Sunday, and then Monday should make direct landfall on Baja California. Or is that Mexico? Yeah, I think it's Mexico. And then shoot right up into Arizona, and then it's going to start heading out there on Tuesday Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico on the east. So, we'll see how much it degrades. But in either case, man, more rain, more and more rain. It's just it's amazing the amount of hurricanes and rain has been dumped on the U.S. and other nations, of course. So we'll go over to the Atlantic side, where they're listing under the hurricane 2, but they're not hurricanes. One is a tropical storm, that would be Kirk, Captain Kirk, and then a tropical storm, and that name is Leslie. But again, I never seen them track tropical storms, or they're calling them, a rainstorm, a tropical rain. I mean, other names they use, but I'm again tracking the jet stream and, the amount of moisture in the air and the clouds and all that, again, is changing today. You got Kirk still right in the mid-Atlantic. Okay, and yesterday, I believe 2 days ago, Wednesday, when I did the news, it all seemed like it was changing. The jet stream just changed direction. I mean, everything was coming down into the Atlantic from the north and up from the southern Atlantic to the mid-Atlantic. And it just looked like there was going to be a big, huge hurricane developing there. And today, I mean, it looks like they finally got the jet stream and the travel of the winds in the right direction. But it still looks like while this remnants of this tropical storm Kirk is it could even strengthen, but it looks like it's given some of its moisture up there to Leslie, who's still in the mid-Atlantic. But we'll watch that. I mean, we're still in, hurricane season. I believe we go to hurricane season. What ends at the end of October or mid-November? I think that's what somebody said last year. So in either case, we'll be watching all these anyway. And so, I got this from the watchers. That's why I went and looked for it. Otherwise, you can't see it in the South Pacific. They're calling it an exceptionally rare first September tropical cyclone since the 1950s, starting to form in the Southwest Pacific. Tropical cyclone Liua, L-I-U-A, Lua. I guess since it's tropical, it's got to be a Lua, right? Anyways. And then, of course, from watchers also talking about Trami turning towards Okinawa and mainland Japan. Heavy rain, strong winds expected. Of course. And so let's get this out of the way. We know that they were supposed to have a vote today to elect Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court seat, and they did have a vote, and it was 11-10 in his favor, but they're holding on to the actual transition because first of all, Democrats staged a walkout today. They all got up in protest of something or another. I don't get the whole story, and they all got up and walked out. And maybe that's when they had that 11-10 vote past Kavanaugh up to the next stage. But there was a senator who made a statement that and asked everyone in the Congress whether they would give just at least one more week, okay, to have the FBI continue its investigation, which is a bunch of bull. Okay, I'm telling you right now, it's a bunch of bull because the FBI already did an investigation. They have all the paperwork, okay, that the FBI gathered during this investigation. So I don't know why they're calling for another investigation, because according to somebody, I forget who it was, states that they're going to find the same information that they already have in paper in front of all the senators. So it's not really going to make a difference except delay, 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 and delay. That's the whole purpose behind this Democratic, whatever you want to call it. Any case, yeah, they want to delay it all the way until after the midterms, because they're very much in fear of, if he is sitting on that seat and the Republicans would have the majority on that Supreme Court panel or whatever, that they would lose seats because of that, and so on. And other things that they're worried about too. Once he gets on that seat in the Supreme Court, they are worried, and they should be, what Trump has already done, with his executive orders. There's going to be arrest. There's going to be civil court. I don't know what you call them. Circuses. And then tribunal, military tribunals where the media won't be allowed, at least according to the current law or way they do things there in the military. There will be no video or whatever in the military courts. So that would be very interesting. Very interesting. So I guess, I don't know when these midterms are, mid-October. I normally do not vote, and I know, that is one of our patriotic duties, I guess, or rights. I'd say more of a right. But I can't vote because I can't endorse anybody who knowingly has stole from the people, ripped people off, lied through their teeth, just used the people. I mean, we were talking about this Wednesday about Maxine Waters and her $170,000 annual income, okay? And she lives in a $4.3 million house. Okay, so it doesn't balance out with her income, versus the style of living that she has. So she's obviously, getting money from other places. Let's see if she wants to give us her tax returns. See if that all balances out. But that's why I can't knowingly vote for somebody who's going to steal and rob and punish, kill, maim, murder, whatever, the American people. I think I'm all for what Trump is doing, even though I still believe he is still part of this whole cabal thing, this whole, thing that's going on. This what did I call it before? This, this play that's being played out. It's all a stage, and he is still part of it. He is a blue collar type person. I don't know. All I can tell you is that, with his claims of cleaning out, draining the swamp, arresting all these people, and it's about time. I think whether he did it or whether we do it, we should be cleaning house. And I guess that's why everyone's looking to Trump at the moment, because they're doing something, or he's doing something that we want to do, but have been either, drugged from this chemical spraying or the additives that are added to our foods, the poisoning of our waters. I mean, we are so dumbed out. I wrote something about that, a little personal thing that I wrote, and I call it the screams within, because sometimes, we just sit on the edge of our bed thinking about all these things, and you want to do something, you want to jump up and run out there and maybe protest or write a letter or do something, and you're not moving. You just don't move. And I think it's because of all this poisoning of the people. That's why I think there's a lot of people like that who want to do this, but they can't. it's a result of our living, our food supplies, our water supplies now. You know how the government's trying to take over all of that. California, you know, they raised it from what, 13 gallons per day to 18 gallons per day now that you can have, you know, use for water. It's the first ever, I believe, that a government state that would regulate the amount of water that you could use. A lot of things going on like that. I mean, people are being fined and or told to, you know, that they can't collect their own water. Well, why the hell not? Who gives them the right to tell us that we can't collect water from the sky? This God-given water. I mean, whatever. You know, this. I understand that the times that we're living in. Yep. So that's what's happening. So anyway, before I, you know, get off that little soapbox, Natural News comes out, and hey, Mike Adams, he has some good stuff that he puts out, and that's one guy who really does his research, whether he does it or he has other people do it. I mean, it's a lot of work, but he comes out with the data. And you know, something I'd like to be able to do, but there's just not enough time in a day, not for myself. You know, if there were other people working with me, oh yeah, fact checking, you know, research. So, anyways, he's got this one called Civil War Alert. A lot of people have been talking about this on many levels, I guess. Civil War. You know, they tried to say that, yeah, we're going to have a race war. That was in the beginning, you know, before the Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all that were created. And I just asked myself a long time ago when they were talking about this, what race war? Where does anybody see that there's going to be a race war? If anything, there's going to be a one in South Africa, you know, where that newly elected, I guess, black president there is now going after the white farmers, just the white farmers, and taking their lands and killing the people. So anyways, the Civil War Alert. Leftists openly plot mass executions of conservatives as Democrats released home addresses of Republican senators. This is how desperate the Democrats are. This is how desperate they are. To release home addresses, phone numbers, and other things of the Republicans. So now that we got this, MS-13 or whatever it is, the gangs from Mexico up here, a gang that has been known to specifically kill governors, judges, you know, people like that. And, you know, we need to pray for those people. The Republicans or whoever's names are out there now in public view. I mean, you know, maybe there was always a way to track them down there, but it was just released in one lump sum. So as the leftists continue to lose political power in America due to elections, President Trump and Supreme Court nominations Brett Kavanaugh, their activists are becoming more militant and extremist. Now we've learned that the left-wing groups are openly discussing mass executions and planned murders of prominent conservatives, and they're using Twitter to carry out the attacks. And he says to see the links, the details on the links below. And believe me, people, go see the links. So Twitter is just one of the several tech giants that selectively bans conservative speech but refuses to remove radical left-wing users who openly call for violence and murder. For political reasons, tech giants have decided to protect left-wing terrorist groups in America, becoming complicit in the escalation of the coming civil war. That's just one example among hundreds. And there's this article from InfoWars titled "Kill Trump, Hang Him, Hunt Him. Facebook page doesn't violate Facebook community standards." So they can put this stuff out there, but people like me can't put alternative media, or I should just say truth, out there. No, we still have to, ones who don't know about us have to rely on the mainstream media, which is all scripted. I watched that CBS the other day, man, when they were giving commentary on the hearings with Dr. Ford and so on and so forth, man. Just a total waste of American tax dollars. Yeah, you're paying for it. Her lawyers are doing it pro bono, so they say, free of charge. Even though this woman lives in Berkeley, and she has so many ties with the government. I guess her resume. I don't want to rehash that. All I can tell you is that 36 years ago, man, and he was a juvenile. Even if he did do it, he's got. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I understand. I feel sorry for her if that happened to her. She says that it did. She said she, been to all kinds of treatment for it. And I mean, she wasn't raped. Yes, I mean, there was a man who, forced himself on top of her. Okay, and I guess he undid a couple buttons of her blouse, and then that was it. And she's going to claim I don't know. I mean, any woman who's gone through this, please comment, say something. Is that what happened going to defy or define your entire life ahead of you? Are you serious? I don't know. I would. Why? I mean, she knows about these parties. She went to these parties. She knows what goes on at them. Anyway, the whole thing that ticks me off about this thing is that it's a total waste of taxpayers' money to try and stop a man from being confirmed because of his political party. That's basically it. So they can't come up with anything else except a 36-year-old story, which may or may not have happened. Maybe she was too drunk and remembered it a different way when it really didn't happen that way. I mean, there are 4 or 5 other witnesses that are recanting, that are saying, no, never happened. No. So, whatever. All of it is just a total, it's a joke. It's a joke, and I'm really upset because they're wasting taxpayers' money doing this. That's what's the problem. Anyway, so yeah, from WND just confirms what I just said. Panel okays Kavanaugh, but Flake puts wrench in the nomination. Yeah, so I just told you basically what happened to that. Let me stop this. And let's see. So Civil War, maybe, folks, maybe. It's going to probably end up being the Democrats against the Republicans, and the Democrats will let George Soros have free reign and hire all his protest groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter and just step it up quite a bit and cause damage and hurt to this country. I just think those people should be arrested. I mean, peaceful protests are fine, right? It's when they start destroying people's property, personal and private property, to make a point. You can't stand out there and protest, just walk around. I mean, no. So anyway, this also from WND. Assad steps down as editor of WikiLeaks. I don't know if this is a... So WikiLeaks plans to release documents pertaining to Google and U.S. electoral system over the next 10 weeks. And plan to start Oh, come on.
resolved a significant.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That volume was just.
Moment, such a significant moment in different.
Yeah, no, it won't let me shut it off. So, anyways, that's the big news. Yeah, and he's still trying to. Let's see. So he still continues to be denied access to the internet and other forms of communications. I don't see how they can deny him that. I mean, anyway, Assange, who has been living inside the Ecuadorian embassy in London for over 6 years, will continue as publisher. The Ecuadorian government decided over the 6 months ago to cut off his communication and limit visits to the members of his legal team. And our last story here is from the Daily Mail. Definitely not the last of the news. There is a lot of news out there. Facebook admits to massive security breach affecting 50 million users in the latest setback for Mark Zuckerberg and the beleaguered social media giant after their View As feature on the app was hacked. Said the social media giant said the attackers exploited Facebook's View As feature. It lets people view what their profiles look like to each other. The firm is working with the FBI to conduct further investigations into the attack. Well, and I saw another article out there too. One of these hackers specifically states that he is going to delete Mark Zuckerberg's account from Facebook. I thought he did already himself, Mark Zuckerberg, but anyways. But in the meantime, you know, these companies still continue to trample on the U.S. Constitution. But remember, the news we did, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Monday, remember, we're not under the Constitution right now. We're not. We're under the Wars Powers Act. And that is also, you can go to Natural News for that too, because he, in one of his articles, he had in there links to all of this data. And I've done many videos on it before, you know, this War Powers Act. And because of this 9/11, okay, when the Twin Towers came down, we basically gave the government permission with the Patriot Act. You know, Homeland Security's been around for a while, but this Patriot Act allows them to do things and gather information and get information from people and other avenues any way they see fit. There's a lot of things that happen with the Patriot Act, and this War Powers Act allows them also to come and take you away. They don't have to arrest you, they don't have to tell you anything, and they can throw you in some dark dungeon somewhere and just forget about you. According to that Wars Power Act, they can do that. They can track you like they are, and this is one of the reasons, track you how much you're buying, you know, if you buy bulk at, say, Costco's or something like that. All this is being tracked and stored and cataloged and whatever. That's why they need the AI, you know, to make sure that they can go and retrieve it quick enough once it's all stored. So if you're, if you're a prepper, like I am a little bit, not a fanatic, but I do it when I can. You know, I have, rice and beans packed away in Mylar bags in a bucket. So now the government, now that he knows that I have that, can come and get it anytime they want. If they can do anything now, if they can, all they have to do is come and tell you that, well, we need it for our government, for our military, so that the whole purpose behind that is that they can come and take anything they want, because they're taking it to use to make sure that the United States comes out victorious in anything that they do. And of course, we've been at war ever since 9/11, continually, with this war on supposed terror. We won't go into that right now, what exactly that means. So, in any case, that's it. That's all I'm doing. I put it out there as in public for YouTube. I don't think it's working because I went to the check on the feed on my channel and it said it was streaming, but I couldn't see the video actually from. Anyways, but my video will be out there on VMO or my website or Real.video or BitChute. Look for 12 Pine on either one of them. So for now, just have a blessed evening. It's Friday, sundown. You know, for a lot of people, it's the Sabbath. And I pray you all have a great communion with the Lord. Keep your family close. Forgive them. Just keep them close. Don't let little things, keep you separated from your family. Not just your family. I mean, maybe you have a church. Maybe you have people you talk to other than your, immediate family. We all need to forgive. It is, it will set you free. I can attest to it. If you ever want to know about it, I will tell you. But forgiving will set you free. Giving everything to Him will set you free. Just seeking after Him will set you free. If you ever want to know, I can attest to all of it. We all are walking in the same direction, hopefully, on that narrow road that few others will see or follow. They all follow the wide road to destruction, because that's where sin leads you. Hopefully, I can come out over the weekend and talk about a couple things. And we'll see. So, God bless everyone, and peace out.